Taram, Namo Siddharam, Namo Airiyadam, Namo Uvachayadam, Namo Loe Sabsaguram. Mangalam Bhagwan Viro, Mangalam Gautamo Gani, Mangalam Kunda Kundatyo, Jain Dharmostu Mangalam, Sarva Mangalya Mangalyam, Sarva Kalyana Karakam, Pradhanam Sarva Dharmanam, Jainam Jayatu Shasanam, Jainam Jayatu Shasanam, Jainam Jayatu Shasanam, Moksha Marga Sinitaram, Vetaram Karma Bhupratam, ज्ञातारं विश्वतत्त्वानां वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये. Okay, so in a quest to discover about Jainism, we have come very far and we are presently learning about the karmas. What karmas are and what can they do for us and what harms do they pose. That's what we are trying to understand. So we started with the simple fact. We started learning about the seven tattvas, and then we found out when Jeev cannot remain contained to itself and it looks out for Pudgal, for achieve, for its own happiness, somehow ashram and burn take place. That ashram and burn has four types. What those four types are? The first one is the kind of prakriti bandha, the types of karmas that we are attracting towards ourselves. Then we have pradesh bandh, the quantities of karmas. And then we have the duration for which the contract is being made with the karmas, that the soul is getting attached to those karmas, bonded with those karmas. And then we have the intensity, anubhag bandha, with which the karmas are going to attack us. So like if the intensity is really high, somebody might be in real pain and it would be a sort of unbearable pain. And if the intensity would be small, it might be a mild headache or something of that sort. So what these karmas are, that's what we're trying to figure out, okay? So there are 8 karmas, but before we jump into these 8 types, we started learning from the fundamentals about the karmas. So the types of beings, there are 2 types of beings, those who are bonded, these are called transmigratory beings, the 2 types of living beings. And the one is liberated beings, Mukta Jiva or Siddha Bhagwan. Just a moment. Is my voice audible? Because there is a lot of background noise.
Yeah, it's audible, but there's some noise. Yeah.
Sure. Or I can take a pause for a while because there is like for 2 minutes there would be some background noise.
No problem. Yeah,
just
yeah.
take a pause.
Yeah, just take a pause.
Meanwhile, you all can read this, whatever is on the screen. Okay. There are 2 types of souls. One, the souls which are free from all types of karmas, and the other souls which are liberated from all sorts of karmas. So the transmigratory souls are called sansari jivas, like us, the animals, the narakis, the devas, who have to take birth, and one day we all are going to embrace death as well. So we have birth dates, we have death dates, and therefore we are called samsari jivas. Why are we taking birth and why are we dying? The reason is only one, because of our bondage with the karmas, right? Because we inclined ourselves towards others. So now others are the ones who are ruling over us. We gave them permission, so I said that I cannot live without food. So now food has become a compulsion. I said I cannot live without water. Now water is the compulsion without which I'll not be able to survive. So when I associate myself to something, that thing also binds me. Mukta jivas are those who have said, okay, enough of this. I'm not going to be associated with anybody and I am going to leave everything. And they become free from every foundation, free from every karmic bondage. How the karmas are defined, that's what we learned in the last class. Should the soul be in the impure state due to the attachment and aversion, rag and dvesh, it becomes an instrumental condition for the karmic particles get bonded with the soul. These particles are called karma. So the thin line is our emotion of rag and dvesh. The moment we have rag or dvesh, we actually spread out equation. We send out the invitations to the karmic particles that they come and be bonded to our souls. For every association, there are going to be repercussions. Who is responsible for those repercussions? Those particles are called karma, right? We can consider it as a karmic memory, right? You know, what I did today. Say, let's say I lied to Soham. Okay. I lied an hour ago. Okay, Soham, I lied to you. I lied, I spoke my words, the falsehoods, whatever I committed, and now it ended then and there. Did you make note of it that you lied to me on this date at this very time? Did you keep the accounting of it? No, Soham did not do that. Do I remember at what time did I lie to Soham? No, I do not remember. But if to lie to someone is a crime, and if it is a punishable crime, there must be somebody who is accounting for it, who knows that I did wrong at this time in this instance, and therefore I am going to pay off for this. There should be some mechanism, right? I'm not remembering it. Soham is not remembering it. Then who is keeping the count? Who is keeping the count? So though there has to be somebody. So Jainism says that, okay, that somebody is karma. So then I said, okay, then is karma a jiva? Because he must be listening, me saying lies. It must have brains to do accounting. So the Jainism says, no, there is no need for a jiva. See, if you type 2 plus 2 on your calculator, the calculator tells you the right answer, yes or no? Yes, it does. 2 plus 2 is 4. So what if a great mathematician types on calculator 2 plus 2? What will calculator answer? 4. What if a newly born boy, he just, plays with the calculator and presses accidentally 2 plus 2? What will calculator answer? Yes. Yes, I'm asking. So there is a boy, Jia, there is a boy who does not know anything about numbers. He typed 2 plus 2 on the calculator. What will calculator display as answer?
Did you say 2 plus 4? 2 plus 4?
2 plus 2.
The calculator will say 4.
Yeah, the boy does not know anything about the numbers. Still, the calculator will say 4. And what if a great professor of mathematics types 2 plus 2? What will calculator answer? 4, right? So the answer of calculator will be neutral to both the boy who does not know anything about numbers and to the great mathematician. Because calculator is ajib. It does not differentiate between who is typing and who is not, whether that person is literate or not, whether that person knows numbers or not. It just says that I will obey the command. So whoever does this procedure will be getting this kind of response. It's very clear. So with Pudgal, with Ajiva, you cannot cheat. You cannot just tell, you cannot request, you cannot impress. You cannot corrupt a machine. Correct? Why? Because it does not have any emotions. It does not have any brains to actually see that, okay, what would be better for this person or that person. It is programmed. And therefore, in Jainism, karmas are pudgal, they are matter, because matters are the most honest beings on earth. A person who does not have knowledge, does not have wit, they will never be able to cheat anybody, and so they'll remain honest always. Correct? Therefore, the karmic particles are ajiva. They are not living beings, and therefore we can trust on them. So the moment I commit some crime, there is a karmic particle which is roaming around. It, due to my lie, gets associated with me, and then it's kind of a programming. That particle stays with me. We call it karmic bondage. You can call it the karmic memory. It is the memory of my actions. because you are not keeping account of it. I am not keeping account of it. Somebody has to remember it because something wrong has been executed. And therefore, it must be rewarded with some punishment or rewards. There has to be something to respond to it. And that mechanism is the karmic memory that we have. It travels with us for the duration to which just scaling up the intensity of the crime or of the intensity of the actions that we have committed. That particular karmic memory will keep the account of it. And when the right time comes, it bounces back. It gives us its own fruits, right? Therefore, the karmas, they are called matters. They're called non-living beings. There is one question that has come. Is there a good reason why our acharyas did not divide types of jiva into three? Sansari, partially liberated and liberated. See, we are just looking at the karmic bondage. And the distinction is in black and white. Either we are bonded to karmas or we are free from karmas. So here, though there are classifications of the jivas who are partially free, but that will be a discussion when we will discuss about gunasthans, the levels of progression. As we climb up the ladder towards liberation, we discuss it. But as of now, we're trying to study karmas. So there is only two types of jivas. One who are completely free from them, or there are few who are bonded with those karmas. So that's the whole reason. But the partially liberated beings are also discussed, but not in the chapter of karmas. They're discussed on the chapter of the path to liberation, how we elevate ourselves in the process to liberate our soul, right? So how many factors are involved in the bondage? We learned about it. There are 4 factors. The types of karmas called Prakriti Bandh, the quantity of karmas called Pradesh Bandh, the duration for which the karmas stay, Sthiti Bandh, and the intensity of the bondage is called Anubhav Bandh. These are the 4 factors in which we are going to judge the karmas. Let's move to the types of karmas then. What are the causes for the above mentioned bondages? We learned about it, the yogas, the mind, body, and voice. These are called yoga, and these yogas actually send out invitations to karma. So Prakriti and Pradesh, the types and quantity is derived using our actions, but the real secret lies in our parinams, in our emotions. So the duration and intensity, sthiti and anubhav, is settled by our passions, our kashayas, right? So there are two things that are responsible for the karmic influx. One is the action of body, mind, and voice. So if I'm speaking right now, actually I'm giving invitations to the karmas. If you're thinking right now about something good or something bad, then your mind is giving invitation to the karmas. If I'm moving my body, if I'm dancing, walking, speaking, sleeping, whatever, if I'm doing any physical activity, my body is sending out invitations to the karmas. We call it yogic influx. So this is the karmic influx because of yogas, right? Because we just settled on this fact that karmas are pudgal, right? And pudgal can only be influenced by a pudgal, right? So a matter will be influenced by a matter. So man, vachan, kaya is the matter which is closest to the soul. So the invitation is always sent out by the mind, body, and voice. Man, vachan, and kaya. That is called yoga. That is the first level. But it is just not enough. The karmas will come, but they would want us to host them. So your guest will come to your doorstep after receiving your invitation. But then when they arrive, you have to greet them with courtesy. You have to welcome them. The soul welcomes those invited karmas with the passions. So if I do not welcome them through my passion, they will come and they will go feeling insulted. That's what happens with Arihant Bhagwan. Arihant Bhagwan has a body. Arihant Bhagwan, while sitting in the Samavsharan, they have a body. They also have voice. They give Divyadhvani, right? So Arihant Bhagwan is constantly speaking and he also has body. He also goes from one place to another. So his bodily invitations are going. His voice is also inviting the karmas. So the karmas come. but there is nobody to greet them. There are no passions. He's vitragi. So the moment the karmas come and they find nobody hosting them, they come and then they go. We call it Iryapathashra. The karmas come and then they immediately leave. Right? That happens when you invite the karmas without passion. But what happens with siddhas? They do not have body, they do not have voice, they do not have mind. Therefore, the question of inviting karmas alone does not arise. And when there are no karmas coming in, what is the point of meeting them with passions? Therefore, siddhas are completely free. Arihantas have karmas coming, but not staying. But us, we have the karmas coming as well as our emotions embracing them, accepting them. So there are actions of mind, speech, and body are the instrumental causes in the vibratory activity of the soul space units. The action is called yoga. This yoga is the basis for the types and quantities of karmic bondage. But the passions, pains, wrong belief, anger, ego, deceit, and greed are the cause for the duration and intensity of karma bondage. That is sthiti and anubhava. Understood, everybody? So far, it's clear. It's very straightforward, right? Now, what we'll do, we'll quickly, because we do not have to learn it in detail. We just have to take the overview of what all is happening. So there are 8 types of karmas, and we're going to just learn about them. So in the last class, we also started learning about these 8 types of karmas. We're going to divide them into 2 types. So we'll take karma, and we'll then divide it into 2 major parts. One will be called Ghatia Karma. What we call it? One is the Ghatia Karma, as it's called in our Jinvani. Ghatia Karma. The first type is Ghatia Karma. Okay. And the second type is Aghatia Karma. The 2 types. One is Ghatia and one is Aghatia. What does Ghatia Karma do? It actually attacks the innate attributes of the soul. We call it Anujivi Guna. Now, it will get actually difficult at this stage, so we'll not get into this. Actually, the Ghatia Karma, it attacks the fundamental attributes of the soul. So what does a soul do? That's what we discussed in the last class. The most important thing that soul does is that it is the attribute of Gyan. It has knowledge. And how does knowledge happen? With darshan. Darshan is perception. So the power to perceive is darshan. The power to know is Gyan. Correct? These 2 are very important attributes that make a soul soul. Again, what happens in a soul also believes. So it has Shraddha, or we can again call it Samyaktva. The belief. The soul believes in things. And then what does soul do? Soul has conduct. We call it Charitra, right? Conduct. So these are the 4 main functions that the soul does. And how does it do it? From where does the soul get power to do it? We call it Virya. Virya means the power. The soul has power to do it. So there are basically these 5 main attributes, which are very fundamental for a soul to function. So if you find somebody who does not know, who cannot feel anything, who cannot be, you just, no matter how high pitch you scream, you actually, try to wake them up and they do not respond. What do you call such a person? We call them either they are in a deep state or they are died, right? When a soul stops to respond, we find that either he has lost the connection of his senses, has gone to deep coma, but if he is not even breathing, then he's dead. Correct? So a soul that does not know is not called a soul, it's called a dead person. Correct? So without knowledge, we'll not be able to conclude that this person is a living thing. So therefore, knowledge is the most supreme thing, most important. And knowledge is always, the knowledge always follows the process of perception. So first the perception happens and then only we reach the stage of knowledge, of knowing. So darshan and gyan, they both go together, okay? So therefore we call Jiva, we define Jiva as a being which has darshan and gyan as its basic attributes, fundamental attributes. Okay, so Jiva has darshan and gyan as the most important attribute. So what will do these Ghatia karmas? First, they are going to attack these 5 attributes. So the first karma is the knowledge obscuring karma. It directly attacks the attribute of Gyan. And it works like a wheel, like a great curtain, which we put in front of a stage before the starting of a play. So if there is a curtain and you're sitting in the audience, can you see the stage? Can you see the stage? If you have gone to see a play and you're sitting in the auditorium and the play is about to begin, but they have not lifted the curtains. Can you see anything except the curtains? Jnana Varni Karma is such. If the curtain of Jnana Varni, it acts like a curtain. Sometimes it happens that, there is a very small thing, very easy, very easy thing to remember. And despite, trying hard, you forget it. You keep on forgetting it. You cannot remember it. Sometimes there is a chapter in mathematics or in science, you can understand it, but despite trying hard, you just don't understand it. Why does that happen? The Jnana Varni Karma puts a veil, it puts a curtain on our power to know. So that's called knowledge obscuring karma. Okay, so the first one is knowledge obscuring karma. And how does it work? It puts a weave a curtain on our knowledge, right? That's knowledge obscuring karma for us. Then what happens? But what if, see, knowing is different. At least I opened my maths book. I actually read that problem. I learned that lesson. Now that's a secondary thing that I cannot recall anything. But I did that. What if I'm not able to open the book only? I felt sleepy, or I cannot see, I cannot feel. So what if our ability to perceive gets attacked? That's what the Darshana Varniya Karma does. Perception obscuring karma. What does it do? It does not attack our knowledge. It does not let the process of knowledge start only. So it will make us fall asleep. It will actually divert our attention. It will not let us know. Okay, so there are some people who cannot see colors, right? So their knowledge is secondary. Their ability to identify the color. See, if I could see color, then you could have asked me that is it a red or orange or yellow or green? And then I would have confused the names with the names. Okay, no, it's blue color. I would have called red color a blue color. But what if I cannot see the colors only? Now my ability to see only has been hampered. And that's what the Darshana Varni, perception obscuring karma does. It does not let me reach to the stage where I can know. It stops me before that process starts. So that's perception obscuring karma. It attacks the darshan gun, the perception power. Okay. Then what happens? What if I have good knowledge, I have good perception, but I have wrong belief? So see, I really know that how an apple looks like, and I know how tasty it is. And then I entered your drawing room, and I just went onto the table, and there was a bucket in which there were apples lying, and I took one apple and I started putting it in my mouth. And then it turned out that apple was a toy. It was not the real apple. It was made up of plastic. So see, why did I take that apple and put it in my mouth, thinking is it real apple, right? So there was a delusion in my head that a plastic toy apple, I believed it to be the real apple, and I behaved in that fashion. I did everything believing that it's real apple. So now there was some karma which was playing with my belief. We call it diluting karmas or mohiniya karmas. It has two parts. One attacks my belief and another attacks my conduct. So if my belief is wrong, automatically my conduct will be wrong. that is the relation between the two. So if somebody just tells you that, okay, earthquake is about to come, your conduct will change quickly. You'll just run towards the ground. You'll not even wait to see whether the ground is shaking or not. But if there is an announcement by, there are sirens in your city and everybody is telling you that earthquake is about to come, the tsunami is about to come, quickly, you'll not look out for evidences. I cannot see my walls shivering. I do not see any shaking in this earth. How do I believe you? No. So there is a very, very, very strong relationship between belief and conduct. The moment we believe something, the very moment we do something about it. So if somebody tells you that it's raining heavily outside, automatically, even if you have not seen outside the window, when you're planning to go out, you'll actually keep your umbrella with you or your raincoats. Because in your knowledge, somebody planted a thought, planted a fact, so your knowledge and perception knew about it, right? And then what happened? You processed it and thought, okay, mom is saying and mom never lies. She's generally concerned. So it turned into belief, that information turned into belief. And when something turns into belief, it automatically enters your conduct, right? So if I want to change how you behave, the best way is to work with what you believe. If I can change your belief, I can change your behavior. That's what people do. That's what they do. They make you believe that they are of importance, and then you automatically start respecting them. Does it happen or does it not? At first, we don't know anybody, and then we discover about people, and then we come to know about them, and then we know that how do we have to behave with which teacher do I have to talk easily, friendly, with which teacher I'll have to be very firm, disciplined. We all know about it. The kind of belief we make about them, the kind of behavior is what we have. So you must be having many friends of yours, right, Adi? You have friends? Yeah. So do you behave equally with all of them, or do you have different kind of behavior for different set of friends? There would be some friend you'll like to hang out with. There would be some friend you'll only be asking, questions of the class or your homework or something. There would be some friends you will rarely, occasionally talk to, right? But so I behave according to my belief. I know that you are going to be a very good friend of mine. I'll be very open with you. If I know that, okay, you're very smart and intelligent and you can help me in my studies and we all can collaborate, I'll talk differently with you. So our behavior is being run by our belief. Yes? Jia, can you relate what I'm saying? Yes? So how you believe, what you believe about me will let you decide how you have to behave with me. Correct? So Mohaniya karma attacks two things. First, it plays with my belief, and then because it plays with my belief, automatically my conduct changes. Correct? See, so we have a default belief that I am this body, right? So what if I wake up in the morning one day and I found out that all my teeth have fallen? I have no teeth now. Will I be ashamed of myself? Will I shy away from meeting my friends? Yeah, it will not be easy for me, right? What if all my hair fall down and I go bald one day? My belief is that I am this body, and because I am this body and I have to look presentable, and suddenly one day the body ditches me and all the hairs have fallen, teeth have fallen, I look ugly. It will directly attack my self-confidence, and then I'll start running away from people. I'll just confine myself in my room. Right? Why? Because my belief was that I am this and I look like this and I look like this not anymore. So my belief will change my perception and my conduct. Understood? So what we believe. So what if I believe I'm soul and I'm not this body? And then I find myself that despite having a very life-threatening disease, I'm happy. Because okay, it's okay, the body is anyway going to die. I'm going to survive anyway. I'm soul. I'm not the one who dies. So what happened? I changed my belief. So even the life-threatening disease is not troubling me. And if I have this belief that, okay, I live only once and I have only this life and I have so much to do and so much is left to be done, I'll be crying, I'll be regretting what have what has happened to me, why I have to leave so early, there's so much left to be done. So because my belief was is this body is me and there is only one life I get, my lifestyle would be different. If my belief is that I am the soul and the body will come and go, I'll be here forever, my life would be different. I'll be kinder to people. Understood? So Mohaniya karma is the one which has two parts. One is called Darshan Mohaniya, which attacks belief, and other is called Charitra Mohaniya, which attacks conduct, behavior. And then there is Antaraya. Everything might go right. I am good person, I have good knowledge, I have right belief, I have right conduct, and yet, you know about Adinath Bhagwan when he took Diksha. You heard the story of Adinath Bhagwan? He took Diksha and then for 1 year, he did not get anything to eat. Have you heard this story? So he used to come out daily out of jungle to the town to have something, but there was nobody who knew how to offer Bhagwan ahar, right? So see, everything was right. He was a great bundle of knowledge. He had great belief and great conduct. He was a great monk. And yet, when the Antaraya karma obstructed, what did it do? It did not let food reach him. So Antaraya is the obstructive karma. What does it do? It stops others from reaching to the soul. It actually creates obstructions. So you want to study. You're very sharp, very intelligent. If you study tonight and you give exam tomorrow, you're going to ace it. But you studied whole night and you're now all ready and leaving for your school, you're on your way, and then there is a major accident on the road, and because of which you're stuck in the traffic. Now you are prepared and you're going to top the exam, but you are not able to pass through that traffic and you will miss your exam. Who obstructed you? What led to this? You prepared whole night. It was not that you were running away from giving the exam. You wanted to give the exam and yet you could not. Who made it possible? It's called Antaraya Karma. Antaraya. Sometimes does it happen? You want to help somebody and you cannot. You want to help them. And you have all the means to help. But you know somehow that they'll not take your help, or it will not look good. They might get offended if you offer them your help. Does it happen and ever with you? Right? So that's the work of Antaray. You want to do something, yet the situation is such that you cannot execute it. So Antaray is the obstructor. It hampers our power. It limits our power. We do want to do so many things that we cannot do anything. Understood? Clear so far? So these five attributes of soul are being actually attacked by these four karmas. The Gyan attribute is attacked by the Jnana Varniya or knowledge obscuring karma. The Darshan attribute is attacked by the Darshana Varniya, or we call it perception obscuring karma. The belief, which we call Samyak Darshan and Mithya Darshan, is actually attacked by Mohaniya karma. The first type of Mohaniya karma is Darshan Mohaniya. And because our belief is different, our conduct is going to be different. Charitra. So Charitra is again attacked by the same karma. We call it Charitra Mohaniya. So Mohaniya karma is one, and it attacks two different attributes of the soul. It attacks our belief, it attacks our conduct, right? So Krodh. Okay, fine. I just a light discussion. Okay, Soham, do you know, do you ever cry, Soham?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes. Do you know how to cry?
Yeah.
If I ask you to cry right now, can you cry?
No.
Why? You know how to cry, right?
But it depends on the situation.
Do you know how to cry or do you not?
Yeah.
So can you show us how you cry? Can you cry right now?
No.
Why? Okay. Do you know how to laugh?
Yeah.
Or do you know, like, let's ask Jia. Jia, do you get angry sometimes? Do you
Yeah.
get angry? Yeah, yeah. Can you get angry right now? Can you show us how you get angry?
No.
Adi, I think you'll not disappoint us. Adi, do you get scared sometime? Adi, you do? Can you get scared right now? You know how to get scared, right? Do you know how to get scared? Yeah, please show us how to get scared.
I can't.
See, that's what Jainism is saying. We think that we know about all these things. You may say that you know how to cry. You may say that you know how to laugh. But if I'll ask you to cry right now, no, Soham, you can act, but that will not be considered as crying. You can act how you can just tell me how you cry, but you'll not cry. If I ask you to scream at me or get angry, Jia, you'll not be able to be angry. You can actually exhibit. You can tell me that this is how I get angry, but you will not get that anger right now. Why? Because we do not know how to get angry. It's the Mohaniya karma which attacks. And whenever that, sometimes it happens that we do not want to laugh. Everybody's in silence and suddenly we get laugh. We know that we do not want to laugh, but everybody is silent. In such situation, you want to laugh. Does it ever happen to you? In situation where, silence is required and you cannot remain calm. Sometimes you don't know why you're feeling sad, but you're feeling sad. You don't know what is the reason. Sometimes you're angry for no reasons. Why does that happen? The Mohaniya karma has different types. The laugh is the work of Mohaniya karma. So sometimes somebody tells some brilliant joke, but you're not in a mood. You do not laugh. You actually get angry on that joke. How dare you? You think this is comedy? We get angry. Actually, when somebody cracks a joke, you should laugh. But instead of laughing, you get anger. How does it happen? So Mohaniya karma is the one which is responsible for all our conduct. When will I laugh? When will I be sad? When will I be happy? When will I like somebody, dislike somebody? In which situation, how I will feel? That conduct is defined by what? Mohaniya karma. Okay? And what does Antaray do? Antaray restricts my power. So I want so much, yet there are obstructions everywhere. So my power has been limited, is being made limited by Antaray karma. So these five attributes of Gyan, Darshan, Samyak, Charitra, and Virya are attacked by these four karmas. We call these four karmas as, I'll call them Ghatia Karma. These karmas are called Ghatia Karmas. Why? Because they attack the fundamental attributes of soul. So these four karmas are called Ghatia Karma. Now, this is what the inside story of soul is. My knowledge is very innate to me. My perception is innate to me. My desires are innate to me. But there are other things that the karmas are also affecting my outer world, right? How will I look? What kind of voice will I have? Will I be able to sing in a very melodious tone, very melodious voice, or I'll not have that good voice? Will I have physical strength, or will I not have physical strength? So these things are also determined by the karmas, right? So these things are not innate to soul. These are external things, which are also decided by karma. So we call them aghatya karma. The karmas which does not affect the soul, but the external conditions of the soul. They do not directly deal with us. They deal with the external situation. So what are those? The very first thing is that we all are human beings right now. Yes, we are in the human form of life. Yes, so that is called the Ayu. We are living the age of humans. a cow is living the age of an animal. The devas are there, the narkis are there. So how long am I going to be here in this in this body? Can I put down a leave application and go out for vacation from this body? Can you take leave from this body? Yeah. Can you leave this body as per your will? You cannot. Even those who try to commit suicide sometimes fail. Right? So somebody jumps off a building to die, but because the Ayu karma is still there, it has not been finished. They do not die. They lose their hands, they lose their legs, they break their bones, but they do not die. They go to coma, but they do not die. Right? Have you seen that, whole building collapses in earthquake, and then somehow the rescue teams find out that, okay, there is a 3-month-old baby who survived the earthquake, the building crash. Have you heard those news? Yeah. There are people who are found alive in extraordinary circumstances, right? Who saves them? The Ayu karma. It acts like a cage. So this body is the cage and the soul is the person who is put into this cage. Until and unless Ayu karma allows us, we cannot leave this body. So this karma is called age determining karma. What do we call this karma? Age determining karmas. So who will live for what life, what span of life will be determined by the Ayu karma. Understood? So if I am going to live for next 50 years, it will be decided by whom? Not by me, but the Ayu karma. So there are people who die early, there are people who live moderate age, there are people who live beyond 100 years. Somebody who is in my neighborhood, there was a person who just completed his 104 years of life. So some people live very long life. Some people, despite surviving many great accidents in their life, live the usually long life. Some people die too early. Who determines it? Age determining karma. So that is the first karma, which is not, because soul is actually infinite. Nobody can limit the life of a soul. But the bondage, my tenure of spending life with this body, it is determined by the Ayu karma. We call it Ayu karma. In English, we can call it age determining karma. Understood? Okay. Now, since I took birth, I must have a body. Right? With body should I take birth? So how will my body be? Will I have a good height, the complexion, the build, strength, right? All these things are also to be determined. Will I have all my complete fingers, or my some fingers would be not in well condition? Will I be taking birth all good, or I'll be handicapped? Will I have my eyes working, ears working, nose working, tongue working? All these things. There is this karma called Nam karma, which determines how my body will look. Physique determining karma. It is the karma which is responsible for the manufacturing of this body. We call it Nam karma, or in English, you can call it physique determining karma. So you must have seen some people who do not look that good, but everybody seems to like them. And there must be some people you must be knowing who look stunningly well, but very few people like them. Does it happen? Yeah, there are some people who have a different kind of aura with them. They look so simple, it's so extraordinary. All these fun things are done by this Nam karma. It has different type of departments. It is the biggest karma in terms of having departments. It has many subtypes and many functions. So it determines that how much fame will we get, how much love will we get, how strong will our build be, what would be the color, what would be the taste of our skin, what would be the smell, odor of this body. Everything is determined by the Nam karma. And then there is this karma called Gotra karma, which determines the type of family we are going to take birth in. Will we take birth in a family which is well nurtured, well respected, or will be taking birth in the backward classes where people are not respected, where people are living in very, very, very humble conditions? Correct? So the Gotra karma will be determining that how our upbringing is going to be. Are we going to acquire some good knowledge? good etiquettes, good deeds, or in a family there has been the tradition of misdoings, wrongdoings, bad habits. So that is determined by the Gotra karma. It actually tells about our surrounding, the people that are surrounded to us. Will we have a good company or bad company? So determined that in which gati we are going to take birth. The Naam gave us the body, and then Gotra is going to give us the company. And then for everything else, will I get a big house, small house, money, education, good friends, bad friends, enemies, gifts, presents? That is determined by the Vedaniya karma. So the Shubha Vedaniya karma means you'll get all the good things. The bad Vedaniya karma, Asata Vedaniya karma, is the reason for which we'll get bad things. So will I get fever? I'll get some great surprise on my birthdays. All these things are determined by Vedaniya karma. So see, these four karmas are not directly attacking the soul. They're attacking our surroundings, right? So Vedaniya karma, let's say, can do, if I have a great property, and if Asata Vedani is going on, my house might catch fire. That is the work of Vedaniya, right? A Gotra will do what? That, okay, I might be very good looking person, but the kind of family I've taken birth in, they can provide me with no opportunities. And they are indulged in bad activities and bad crimes. Now I'm destined to be engaged to those people. So that's not my mistake, but my surroundings have completely changed my future. Nam karma is determining how my body is going to look like, and Ayu is going to determine that how long I am here for. Understood? So these are the 8 karmas. 4 karmas, they affect my external conditions. These 4 karmas affect my internal conditions. Now I would want to ask, if you are given the opportunity to tackle these karmas, which karmas will you address first? The Aghatia karmas or the Ghatia karmas? Soham.
So I think I would address the Ghatia Karmas first.
Ghatia karmas, why?
Because they're more important to determine your personality.
So what if I'm dealing with extreme poverty? So should I not do something about that poverty first? Should I not be addressing the problem that we have? I have immediate problem of economic condition that I have.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Jia, you have any views on this?
I would also say Ghatia Karma because that's like more important than the Aghatia Karmas
Why?
because it focuses on fundamental attributes of the soul.
Yeah. See, very good, very good. Actually, the Ghatia karma is dealing with my own self, and it's easier to clean your own home than to clean others' houses, right? So it would be so easy that we work on ourselves. See, the Aghatia karma is dealing with the different set of problems, and most of those problems we have no control over. What if Soha, I am very short, I have height of 4 feet. How can I increase my height? What can I do? If I have my ears like this and I don't like them, can I do something about them? It is actually out of my hands. So worrying about how I look, how I have been here, the kind of family I have got, the kind of surroundings I have got, that's secondary. To tackle it is a very different ballgame. But how I feel, what I should know, what I should believe, it's pretty much is in my hands. And therefore, the process to unfold ourselves from the bondages of karma starts by working on our soul. That's what Arihantas do. Arihantas have all these 4 Aghatia karmas still with them. Therefore, they have body. They have Ayu, That's why they are human beings. They have physique, they have body because of Nam Karma. They have Gotra because that's the way they have, they have walked on the path to liberation. And they also have Vedaniya Karma, they have some of Sharan and all types of things. So Arihant Bhagwan did not fight with these karmas. They said, okay, these karmas can be ignored. They have no authority. I can have everything in front of me. But what if my mood is not good? Nothing will make me happy. And I can have nothing around me. And if my mood is good, everything will be sorted. So therefore, rather than working on external conditions, we'll first work on these internal conditions. And therefore, Arihantas are free from these Ghatia Karmas. So there are 4 Ghatia Karmas: Jnana Varniya Karma, Darshana Varniya Karma, Mohaniya Karma, and Antaray Karma, which are destroyed by Arihantas. And there are 4 more karmas: Ayu Karma, Nam Karma, Gotra Karma, and Vedaniya Karma, which are destroyed by Siddha Bhagwan. Siddha Bhagwans are free from all the 8 karmas, and Arihantas are free from only 4 karmas. Okay, fine. Think about it. In the next class, we'll have the revision, and we'll time being our whole syllabus. We'll just from the beginning, whatever we have done so far, we'll conclude it, and then we'll have a small test, and we'll break for the summer holidays. I don't know, summer or winter, whatever. So we'll break for the holidays. Okay, so just think about it. Whatever questions you have about karmas or about the things that we have learned so far. We started with 5 parmeshtis. We went on to Dravya Gun Pariyay. We learned about the 6 common attributes, special attributes, 6 substances, 7 tattvas, and now we are concluding with these 8 karmas. A very brief overview of these karmas, right? So if you have any questions, any doubts, we can discuss it in the next class. We'll have a quick revision, and then we'll have a small test, and then we'll be good to go for the holidays. Okay, chalo. We'll close for today with Jinwani Stuti. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए चिन्हवाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है, उसके लिए चिन्हवाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है. 9 times नमोकार मंत्र. जैन धर्म नु जय हो. जय जिनेंद्र. Thank you.
Is it?
Yeah.
जय.